the most precious, finite resource, yet squandered so recklessly, so thoughtlessly. People bleed themselves dry, giving it away piece by piece, like handing out pearls to swine. But attention is the real currency of power, the thread that binds reality to will. The fools throw it around without realizing that where you direct your attention, you direct your life. It's the energy that fuels thoughts, shapes desires, gives breath to dreams. And still, people waste it on the most trivial, the most insignificant. They let their minds be devoured by empty distractions, by worthless opinions, by parasites feeding on their focus. They think it's free, that it means nothing. But attention, once lost, is never regained. You want to know who holds the power? Look to the one who controls your attention. When your focus is constantly being pulled, twisted, yanked away from you, who benefits? Certainly not you. You pour your attention out like a broken faucet, chasing shadows, chasing illusions. It seeps out into every crack, every crevice, until there's nothing left for yourself. And then you wonder why you feel empty, drained. Attention is the currency of influence. Those who waste it become impoverished, powerless, wandering through life as puppets, dancing to strings they don't even see. Because the moment you let your attention slip, you become prey, easy to manipulate, easy to control. It's a game of thieves, really. Everyone wants a piece of your focus, a sliver of your mind, a bite of your soul. They clamor for it, doing everything to catch your eye, to trap your mind. And most people, they give in, just like that. They spend their attention on meaningless things, on empty gossip, on the fleeting thrill of validation. They allow their thoughts to be hijacked, letting someone else dictate what's worthy of notice. But attention is a form of worship. To direct your attention is to bend reality in that direction. So where's your attention going? Is it building you? Is it feeding your fire? Or is it bleeding you dry, leaving you hollow, without purpose? Power flows where attention goes. The more you give, the less you have for yourself. Attention should be guarded fiercely, hoarded like gold, parceled out only where it can grow, where it can expand, where it will be used to build something worthwhile. But no, most let it be drained by the mundane, the insignificant. Each wasted glance, each moment of fixation on the frivolous, is a piece of your life being siphoned away. You're watering weeds and wondering why the garden dies. You're fueling fires that don't warm you, investing in worlds that give you nothing back. Attention is the current that shapes your reality, and every careless thought is a drop in the ocean of your existence. But here's the trick, the sweet, dark irony. The more you keep your attention locked down, the more power you gain. To focus, to wield your attention like a blade, to slice through the noise, to pierce through the distractions. That's the mark of true control. It's what separates those who shape their world from those who are shaped by it. You think it's about willpower? Number. It's about understanding the game. Attention isn't just about looking at something. It's about choosing where to spend your soul's currency. It's about seeing the cost of every glance, every thought, every moment of engagement. The rich are those who've learned to invest their attention wisely. If you let your attention be spent on the trivial, you become trivial. If you let your attention be stolen by the shallow, you become shallow. And so the cycle goes, until there's nothing left but a hollow shell. While others scatter their attention like seeds in the wind, The wise focus it with the precision of a sniper. Because those who can keep their attention, who can hoard it, harness it, who refuse to let it be squandered, they are the ones who control the current. They decide what's worthy, what deserves to exist in their reality. Everyone else is just a moth, circling the nearest flicker, burning out without ever having lived. Every problem, every struggle, every obstacle, look deep enough, strip away the layers, and all that remains is a skill problem. Skills, not luck, not talent, separate the wolves from the sheep. And what are skills, really? They're the byproduct of focused attention, of energy harnessed and refined until it becomes a weapon. Those who solve problems masterfully, who navigate life with ease, who dominate in any arena, they aren't different by birthright. They're different because they've learned to command their attention, to shape it, to mold it until it becomes something more, until it becomes focus. Think about it. Relations, social dynamics, survival, success. What's the common thread? Those who rise, who thrive, have developed skills where others fumble. The skill to read the room, the skill to manipulate the game, the skill to bend a situation to their favor. And skills are earned through the relentless, merciless focus of attention. A focus that doesn't waver, that doesn't scatter at the slightest distraction. Most people are slaves to impulses, constantly pulled in 1,000 directions, frittering their attention on pointless endeavors. And that's why they stay weak, unrefined, unable to solve the problems staring them in the face. Because problems are simply skills you haven't mastered. Attention is raw energy. When refined, it becomes focus. And focus is the blade that carves skill out of chaos. The sharper the focus, the more precise the skill, and the more devastating the results. The untrained eye sees problems everywhere. Conflict in relationships, failures in business, friction in social settings. But the trained eye, the one that knows how to cut through the noise, it sees opportunities for skill building. It sees a chance to hone, to sharpen, to elevate. The weak cower before problems, calling them obstacles, excuses for why they are stuck. The strong see them as challenges, each problem a new canvas on which to etch mastery. The ones who dominate in life are those who understand this law of focus, who direct their attention toward the gaps, the weaknesses, the flaws. They aren't swayed by temporary discomfort. While the average are busy avoiding problems, drowning themselves in distractions to escape the pain of inadequacy, the powerful direct their attention inward, into the fire, into the crucible of chaos. They dissect every failure, every friction point, tearing it apart until the underlying skill gap is exposed. And then they attack that gap with surgical focus, pouring their attention into it until the skill emerges, until the problem dissolves in the face of newfound mastery. Refined attention is rare because it's dangerous. It sees what others cannot. It transforms what others fear. To direct attention with precision is to wield a power that can reshape worlds, shatter limitations, dismantle obstacles that cripple the ordinary. Because where attention goes, skill grows. And those who can hold attention in the face of chaos, those who can focus through discomfort, through pain, through the dissonance of confronting their own weaknesses, those are the ones who rise. While others run from their shortcomings, the focused dive into them, turning flaws into strengths, obstacles into ladders, failures into fuel. But here's the dark reality. Most will never understand this. They will never grasp that every missed opportunity, every broken relationship, every crumbling venture wasn't caused by external forces. It was caused by a lack of skill, a deficiency in mastery, a failure to focus attention where it was needed most. Instead, they scatter their thoughts, blaming everything but the one thing they can control: attention. The unwillingness to face the problem head-on, to refine focus until a skill is born. And so, the cycle continues, one problem after another, compounding, suffocating, because they never learned to wield attention like a weapon. But those who do, those who master the art of focused attention, they become something else entirely. While the masses drown in their own mediocrity, trapped by problems they can't solve, the masters rise above, because to focus is to choose where your power flows. To hone your attention is to control your own evolution. Every moment of precise attention is a step toward dominance, a step toward becoming the kind of person who can take any challenge, any problem, any chaos, and bend it into something useful, something that serves. Because focus, real focus, is creation. It's turning raw energy into mastery, turning every problem into a stepping stone. Self-actualization. People speak of it like some ethereal state, like some divine enlightenment bestowed from above. But the reality is far more brutal, far more raw. It's not a gift, it's a war fought in silence, in darkness, against an enemy that wears your face. Self-actualization is not reaching the peak of some imagined mountain. It's crawling through the depths of your own chaos, clawing through the wreckage of your failures, your flaws, your fears, and emerging from it all with a blade forged from every scar. Self-actualization is solving your own problems, not just external ones, but the ones that writhe deep in your core. It's slaying every internal demon that keeps you from being who you are meant to become. You want to talk about self-actualization? It's not about meditating on your potential, not about feeling fulfilled or chasing some vague notion of happiness. It's about confronting every weakness, every inadequacy, every pathetic excuse, and crushing them one by one. It's standing before the shattered mirror of who you are and fixing the cracks yourself, piece by bloody piece. Because no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you your higher self on a silver platter. You become actualized when you stare into the abyss of your own shortcomings and decide, with a grin, to take control, to tear yourself down and rebuild, to solve every internal problem, whether it's fear, laziness, doubt, or insecurity, until there's nothing left to solve, nothing left to hold you back. Self-actualization is facing the grim reality that all the obstacles you think are outside are rooted deep within. That every time you look for someone to blame, every time you point a finger, every time you think the world is standing in your way, the real barrier is sitting behind your eyes, in your own mind. It's the refusal to take responsibility for your weaknesses. The refusal to see that your life is a reflection of your own choices, your own discipline, or lack of it. The unworthy never see this. They chase distractions, search for answers outside, waiting for the day life suddenly grants them the clarity they seek. But the ones who see, the ones who grasp the savage nature of self-actualization, understand that the only way out is in. Self-actualization is the ultimate rebellion. It's choosing to solve your own problems instead of adopting the expectations and lies others tried to mold you into. It's being strong enough to face your limitations without turning away, without sugarcoating it, without pretending it's okay. It's about getting angry enough, savage enough, to turn that burning frustration inward, to direct it at every weakness, every gap in your own armor. And every time you solve one of those problems, every time you silence one more internal demon, your mind grows sharper, your will grows harder, and your essence solidifies into something unbreakable. Because the process of self-actualization isn't pretty, it's a bloodbath. It's a relentless culling of the old self, a massacre of everything weak, everything that serves no purpose. Solving your own problems is where self-actualization begins, and where it ends. You want to change your life? Solve your laziness? You want to find your purpose? Solve your lack of focus. You want to feel powerful? Solve the fear that holds you back. The path is clear. Kill each problem until there are no more left to kill. Because self-actualization isn't becoming something more. It's about stripping away everything that's less. Everything that was never truly you to begin with. It's refining yourself into a weapon, a blade that carves through every challenge, every failure, with precision and purpose. And the only way to sharpen that blade is through solving what's broken within. Each problem you solve, each piece of your inner chaos that you confront and conquer, is a step toward actualizing yourself into something formidable, something real. There is no shortcut, no higher path, no soft enlightenment waiting at the end of a meditation session. Self-actualization is dirty. It's hard. It's brutal. It's looking at yourself and saying, this isn't enough, and then doing whatever it takes to become more, because the process doesn't care about your comfort. It doesn't care about your tears or your struggles. It demands everything. And those who walk this path are rewarded, not with peace, but with power. The power that comes from having slain every part of yourself that was weak. Attention, the essence of your being, the lifeblood of your existence. It's not just what you focus on. It's the currency of your soul, the thread that ties your finite time to whatever it touches. Every second, every thought, every glance you give away is a piece of your life you'll never get back. And yet, people throw it around like confetti, spilling it into the void of the meaningless, letting it slip through their fingers, squandered on things that feed nothing but the endless maw of distraction. If you want to heal, to rebuild, to become whole, start by paying attention to where your attention goes. Because that's where your life is going to. Every time you let your mind drift towards something unworthy, every gossip, every trivial pursuit, every meaningless fixation, you're draining your essence, hemorrhaging your power into the abyss. And for what? For momentary stimulation? For a fleeting escape? For a rush that leaves you emptier than before? Attention is energy. It is focus, intention, the fire that fuels creation itself. Where you direct it determines what grows, what shrivels, what consumes you. Want to know why you feel scattered, fragmented, torn apart? Look at where you're bleeding your attention. Look at what you're feeding with your finite existence. Because what you attend to grows, and what you neglect dies. Your attention is the sun, and you've been shining it on weeds. Attention is the purest form of generosity. When you give it, you're giving your life away. one fragment at a time. Most people waste it, pouring it into the empty void of the irrelevant. But what if you reversed it? What if you became selfish with your attention? Selfish in a way that nurtures your growth, your vision, your potential. To be generous with your attention for yourself, that's where the real power lies. Directed inward to pursuits that serve you, that elevate you, that sharpen the blade of your mind and harden your resolve. Every thought, every second you invest in yourself, you become stronger, more dangerous, more focused. Because attention, when wielded with precision, is more than just focus. It's creation. Think of it. Attention, this invisible force, is what binds dreams to reality, what shapes chaos into order. Whatever you immerse it in, you make real. So what are you making real? Are you building yourself? Or are you dissolving into the noise? Heal by hoarding your attention, by guarding it as if it were your last breath, your last heartbeat. Because in many ways, it is. Attention is the measure of your life. Every flicker of focus is a drop of time, a piece of eternity burned into whatever you touch. And what are you burning yourself into? The trivial question mark, the irrelevant, the things that deplete you. Heal by turning inward, by feeding the fire of your own vision, by pouring your attention into pursuits that serve only you. Selfish attention. It's a paradox, but a necessary one. To be selfish in this way is to reject the world's attempt to steal your focus, to refuse to let your essence be diluted by distractions. Most people spread their attention thin, a little here, a little there, until there's nothing left to give. But you will become something different. You will become a fortress of focus, impenetrable, untouchable, a force that directs attention like a sword, slicing through everything that seeks to drain it. Because attention, refined, is power. When you pour it into yourself, when you refuse to let it be scattered to the winds, it becomes fuel. Fuel for your ambitions, your healing, your becoming. Pay attention to what you pay attention to, and you'll see where your life is going. Most people are unaware, blindly letting their focus drift, blown around by whims and impulses, feeding what offers the easiest escape. And that's why they remain broken, scattered, lost. To heal is to reclaim that control, to decide that only the worthy will receive the gift of your attention. Because attention is the most precious thing you possess. Give it sparingly, guard it fiercely. Spend it only where it builds you, where it serves you. Heal by becoming exclusive, by making your attention so valuable, so rare, that only what serves your growth is allowed to have it. And when you become generous with your attention for selfish reasons, something profound happens. You start to solidify. The chaos quiets. The fragmentation fades. You become centered, rooted in your own presence, no longer flitting from distraction to distraction. Each thought, each focus becomes a deliberate act, a step forward, a reinforcement of the self. The world will scream for your attention, claw at it, beg for it. Ignore it. Heal by becoming indifferent. Focus on what you choose, not on what seeks to choose you. Because in that indifference, in that ruthless self-focus, you forge yourself into something the noise cannot touch. And that's where true healing, true power begins. The world wants your attention, because attention is life. To take your attention is to take pieces of you, to own fragments of your soul. But when you turn it inward, when you hoard it for yourself, you reclaim those lost pieces. You pull back what was stolen, what was wasted. You become whole again, stronger, more formidable. Because the power of attention, the power to choose where your energy flows, is the power to decide what you become. And when you pour it into yourself selfishly, with precision and purpose, you begin to create something the world can't touch, something that can't be shattered by the noise, by the chaos. So be selfish, be ruthless. Let your attention become a rare gem, precious and fiercely guarded. Direct it where it serves you, where it heals you, where it shapes you into something unbreakable. Because attention, given freely, is a gift. Attention, directed inward, is a weapon, and wielded with mastery, with absolute focus. It's the tool that builds an unshakable self. Heal by turning your attention inward, by making yourself the center of your own universe. Because attention, when invested in yourself, becomes something greater. It becomes transformation. It becomes power. It becomes the freedom you long for your entire life.